Okay, so here I am using one of the queries from one of your labs, uh, in which we were actually selecting the data from three different tables. That is actually the selecting the employee number, the employee name, and the salary of the employee, the department number of the employee, and the salary grade of the employee. And we have to join here create joins between three tables. So here we have the key department number. We are joining the department table and employee table using the e dot department number equal to d dot department number, and we are joining the employee table with the salary grade table with this e dot salary between s dot low sale and s dot high salary. Okay, so when you execute this, you will get this data, the employee numbers, all the records of all the employees, their names and their salaries, their department names, and the salary grade of each and every employee. Okay, so if we want this data on the regular basis, or on weekly or monthly basis, and we have to generate this report, do we have to just write this query again and again? No, we have views and we can just store this query as a view, and whenever we want, we will just select the data from this particular view, and we'll have all of the data without rewriting the query again, or without storing this query as a text file and then copy and pasting again. Okay, so we will just create now a view using this query. So what do we have to do here? We just have to write that create view statement like this: create view, and then view name, so salary report, for example. So the view name is salary report, and as is a keyword, and after as you have to write your query as you do. So if we click enter, so we have the duplicate column names. Okay, we can just rename the columns, like for example here D name we can write as department name. All right, okay, now it's done. All right, now coming to the how to select the data from this view now. So as we have seen, we can just consider this view as a table for us. So what we will do, we will write that select static from the name of the view is salary report. All right, so how easy is that? We just wrote select static from the salary report, and we have all of the data. And if we want to restrict some of the records, then we can do this as well. Select static from the salary report where salary, where for example grade equals to 4. Now we have this data. We can also place the restriction on the basis of salary, where salary is greater than 3,000, for example. So we have this data, so we can restrict this with as much restriction as we want. So here you have seen that how easy it is to store the queries, to store your reports permanently as views, and select and interact with the data that is stored in the databases. Okay, so we will come back to the lecture then, how to show actually the views. So when you have created when you have created your views, how to actually show those views to make sure that the views have been created. So this is the command show full tables, where table underscore type is view. So show full tables where table underscore type equals to view. So here you can see that salary, report, and the table type is view. If we just remove this mirror clause, it will show all of the tables and all of the views. So if we just remove, we just write that show full tables, it will show all the tables including the views as well. So these are all of tables, and this is the view salary report. Okay. Another thing, if you just want to see that what is the definition of the view that you have created, so how will you actually display the definition, or how do you view the definition of the view? You have to write this query show create view and the name of the view. So you will write that show create view, show create view, and the name of the view, that is salary report. So here you get the definition of the view. So here it is the definition of the view that you have created. So by using this you can view the definition of the views you have created, and if any correction is needed, you can just drop the views and then recreate them. Okay. So now moving forward, now we'll discuss about the updatable views. So most of the time the views are meant to be for the data selection purpose only, but sometimes we can also use the views for updation as well, but we do not actually prefer updation and deletion using the views, but we can use the views for updation and deletion as well. So if you have an employee and you do not want to give the full access of the database to that particular employee or a particular table even, so what you do, you will create a view, and the employee will just insert the data on this particular view, without accessing actually the attributes of the table directly. This is because we have some sensitive information that we do not want to display to every employee of the company. For example, the salary of the employee in the salary table is a sensitive information, and other than HR or the manager, no other employee of the company should know the salary of all of the employees, and the date of birth and the social security number, the bank account number. These are some details that are very sensitive, and we do not want the employees, the database users, to access this sensitive information. So just we create the views for them, and the data that is beneficial for them, the only data is displayed to them whenever they want. Okay. So we were talking about the updation of the views, and as you can see, as we discussed, that the views in the views, you can not just only select the data, but you can also insert the or update the data as well. So and in addition, you can also write the delete statement to remove the data from the databases. So we will see some of the examples of updating the views. So there are certain not certain, there are actually a lot of requirements when we are creating the update views. So we have to follow all of those requirements, and after that you will be able to create the updatable views. So these restrictions are due to many purposes, because sometimes you are going to update the data in one table, but your view is actually using more than one table. These are some of the restrictions where you cannot just enter data in one table without entering the data in another table. So there are so many problems with application. So there are a lot of restrictions that have been listed here. After following these, you can create the updatable view. So to create an updatable view, the select statement that defines the view must not contain any of the following elements. So the statement, the select statement that you have used in creating the view, the definition of your view, you cannot, your select statement should not contain any of the following elements that are listed over here. So what are those elements? First of all, you cannot use the aggregate function in the select statement if you want to create updatable views. So as I just already discussed that most of the time we use the views to actually selection purpose only. That's actually the reason behind this. There are a lot of restrictions when we are going to create updatable views. So first restriction is that you cannot use the aggregate functions, that is the minimum, maximum, average, sum, count, etc. The second restriction is you cannot use the distinct clause. The next restriction is you cannot use the group by clause. So you cannot group by you cannot group the elements of your databases. You cannot use having clauses, which means and having clause is used when you use aggregate function. So if you are not using aggregate function, you will not be using the having clause as well. You cannot use the union clause. Union is we discussed in the database operators. Union will take will combine the data from two or more tables. So you cannot use the union clause in the select statement. You cannot use the left join or outer join. So which means you cannot use even joins, outer joins, especially in the updatable views. And the second last thing is the subquery. You cannot use subquery in the select clause or in the where clause. In both of the clauses, you cannot use in select as well as in the where clause. That refers to the table appeared in the from clause. So this is the one of another restriction with the updatable views. Subquery, we have just we have gone through subquery in one lab, but we have not discussed this in much detail. So our next topic, or in the coming week, the topic that we will be discussing will be the subqueries, and this will be most probably the last topic of our course. Okay, then any modifications including the update, insert and delete statement must reference columns from only one base table. So this should actually reference the columns from only one base table when you are going to add the statement of the update, insert or delete. Okay, so now we will move to an example of updating the views. First we create a view named office info based on the offices. The view refers to 3 columns of the office tables: office code, phone and city. For example, we have a table that is actually displaying the information of the office, and we have created a view with the name office information or office info, and the view is referring to the 3 columns of the office table. So the table is offices, and the columns office code, phone and the city. These are the 3 attributes, the 3 columns to which the view is referencing. Okay, so we will create the view as following. Create view, the name of the view is office info as the keyword, and select office code, phone, city from offices. Okay, so this is the definition of the office view, office info view. Now how are we going to update the views? We can update only those columns that are present in the select statement. We cannot access the columns that are not present in this statement. So we can only in the set clause and in the where clause, we can only refer to those columns that have been used to create the view. So how to update the view? This is the same as updating the table. So how do you update the records in the table? You write update table name. Here the table name, in the place of table name you have the name of the view. So update info, office info, set phone equals to this, where office code equals to this. So what you have done, you have just updated the information of a particular phone number where the office code was 4. So you have replaced the phone number information in the office views and actually in the office table. Okay. So similarly, as you write the update statements in the tables, they are just as the same. Okay. Now we will talk about the dropping of the views. How do we drop the views after creation? So this is a very simple syntax and very simple query to drop the views. So the drop view statement deletes, it actually deletes, it permanently deletes the view from the databases. Like the drop statement that is used for dropping a table, it will permanently delete the table from the databases. And they're actually the data definition language, the insert, update and the create, alter and drop. These are the data definition language commands. So the syntax is drop view if exists and the view name. So in the syntax you specify the name of the view. What is the name of the view here that you want to actually drop, and the drop keyword is used, drop view. For table we write drop table, and for view we write drop view instead. If exists is optional condition, it removes a view only if the view exists. So it is better to use if exists, and if there will be a view that is being existed with this name, it will be deleted. Otherwise it will inform you that you have used the wrong name for the view, or the view doesn't exist. Okay. If you want to actually delete multiple views from the databases, so what will be the query for this? Okay. To remove the multiple views from your databases, this would be the query, drop view if exists, view name, and then comma, then second view name, and then comma, and then third view name. Okay. So when you want to delete multiple views, you have to just write them as comma separated values. Alright. So dropping the views is also very easy, and it's the same as dropping the tables. Now we will discuss about the renaming of the views. How do we rename the views? So if you have created a view with the name, for example, salary report, and later you want to change the name of the view to another, for example, employee salary report, so you just write a query and your view will be renamed. This is the similar as renaming the table. So because views and tables share the same namespace, you can use the rename table statement to change the name of the view. So for renaming the views, you can just write the same query for renaming the table as well. So the basic syntax of the renaming a view is rename table, these are the keywords, original view name, so this is the original name, for example the salary report. 2 is the keyword new name, that is for example employee salary report. So rename table salary report to employee salary report. So this will just rename the view to employee salary report. We will just try to have this using MySQL. So rename table, and the name is salary report to employee salary report. Okay, now we will try to see okay, so the name is now employee salary report, so the name has been updated. Okay.